and achieving more. Telling it just like it is. Most of all, keeping it real. Are you ready for real talk? Changing lives and communities. Real talk. Saving all our families. Real talk. Bringing hope for you and me. Real talk. Real talk with Judy. Real talk with Judy on the radio. Real talk with Judy. Real talk with Judy on the radio.
And welcome to the Real Talk with Judy live radio show, the #1 talk show for empowering, inspiring, motivating, and helping people, especially women and girls, to see that it is possible. What's possible? Your vision, your dream, your hope, your desire, everything you want to accomplish is possible if you can only believe. You have to see it before you see it, or you never will see it. That's Real Talk. I am Dr. Judy, the People Architect, and your Real Talk with Judy host. To all of you, thank you for joining me this beautiful Tuesday morning, October the 17th, 2023, via radio, Hallelujah 95.3 FM, Facebook Live, YouTube, and the Hallelujah app. And to all of you outside of Tallahassee, thank you so very much for joining me every Tuesday. I am honored and thankful that you have chosen to join me on these Tuesdays and again today. And please do me a favor. Please do me a favor. You know I got to do this. Please do me a favor. Go ahead and call, text everyone. Share this. Share this. This is going to be good. So if you know of any married couples, go ahead and share it with them. All right. Go ahead and share it with them. Anybody who want to be engaged, or anyone who's engaged or thinking about marriage or any of that stuff, go ahead and call them. This is going to be a great show today. And I want you to go ahead and call them while I talk to my mom. Give them a shout out to my mom. Y'all see my husband sitting right here next to me. But as I give a shout out to my mom, so go ahead and do that for me. Hello to my mama. Hello, mama. Mother Dr. Irma Hunter Wesley. My mom is the reason I am who I am. And she is still my trusted advisor and mentor. And she's still here. And I count that as a great honor and privilege. And I ask that you all will continue to keep her in your prayers. And to my awesome husband, he's usually not sitting here, but today he's sitting here. There he is right there. That's my husband. It's within the Gerald Mandrell, senior pastor of Life Changers, Church of God in Christ. And he's the reason I get to do what I do. But like I said, he's sitting right here. And to Priscilla John Lewis, my amazing production leader. And she's been leading this for 7 years. 7 years. It'll be almost 8 years. We're almost going into our 8th year. So every Tuesday she's here making sure things happen. Either she or one of her capable staff assistants here is assisting her. And I want to thank you, the greatest audience ever, who keep coming back to this show. So I want to thank you. And I know Minister Brenda Howard is going to be on soon, giving out all of those shares. And I greatly appreciate that. I greatly appreciate her taking time to do that. And to my Bahamas family, thank you so very much. My sister Tanya and Cindy and Carolyn, thank all of y'all. Victoria, Auntie Doris, thank all of y'all for being on. It is an honor to have each and one of you on today. I hope you will go ahead and share. We're going to talk about us. We're going to talk about us today. So guess what, y'all? We have been married 1,356 what's that? Okay, how long we been married?
356,048,000
seconds. That's how many seconds we have been married. Say it again, man.
1,356,048,000
seconds. Wow, how many minutes have we been married?
22,600,800 minutes.
That's a long time. How many hours have we been married?
376,680 hours.
How many days?
15,695 days.
How many months?
516 months.
And how many years?
43 years.
We've been married 43 years today, y'all. Happy 43rd anniversary to us. We have been married 43 years. Wow.
Wow. Yes.
That's a long time.
That's a good long time.
That's a long time, y'all. Wow. And so today we're going to talk about, and we're just going to talk. I didn't even write out any questions or anything. We're going to talk. And we're going to talk about what helped us to get to 43 years. And so y'all have to understand we had to say I do and all that stuff. So we've been here 43 years by the grace of God. And we are so glad unto him. But God graced us, and we also had to work at it. Okay? So that's what we need to know. God ain't gonna just make the marriage work. What you say, Pastor? What you say?
No, you just can't put it on God. Of course, he was the author and the source of us. But then we had to complete us. We had to continue to work to improve upon us and improve upon our relationship, and to continue to love one another. And I think that become the issue that a lot of people experiences when they stop loving each other. So I believe that loving one another is a choice that we have consciously made, and then that we have consciously put forth an effort to love one another, which means that we have had to forgive one another. We have had to cherish one another. We have had to, like you say, tolerate one another. But through it all, it was worth everything. You know, the joy of our marriage has always outweighed any other downtime or down moments that has pretentiously tried to come up. So it takes work, but the work is good work. It wasn't a hard work. You know, it wasn't a hard work at all. So I appreciate you, and I loved you from the beginning, and I determined to love you even throughout the end. So even the vows that we took, I believed every word that I said. Other than that, I wouldn't have said it. So I try to fulfill it and try to live by it, and try to make full proof of it.
You know, I should have brought the vow book with us, and so we can go over those vows, because I think, honestly, Pastor, I think people need to, and y'all heard me call him Pastor, so I either call him Sweetheart, Pastor, or Jerry. Jerry is not his favorite, but I either call him Sweetheart, Pastor, or Jerry. That's what I call him most time. Sweetheart, Pastor, or Jerry. Right? Some people say, "Well, what's your nickname?" That's it. Sweetheart, Pastor, Jerry. Every now and then I say Gerald, because but I like Jerry because it's easy, and then Pastor because that's what everybody call him now since he stopped pastoring, and then Gerald. That's his name, and then Sweetheart. All right. So, because what I was about to say, Pastor, is that I wish I would have bought the vow book so we could list some of the vows that we kept for 43 years. Mm-hmm. For 43 years, we have been true to our vows. And that's been something that I think people have to understand. You don't want to just say something and not keep it, because all of those things come to pass. Mm-hmm. All of those things, for better and for worse, for richer and poor, sickness and health. Mm-hmm. What else? Until death do your part. I mean, all of those things come to play. And one of the things that he said before we got married is that anything that came into our life to divide us had to go. Will you elaborate on that a little bit, Pastor?
Yeah, I believe that because the Bible says that God hates divorce, that he hates divorce. So it was always my belief that anything that will come to cause us to separate wasn't of God, because the Bible says, what God has joined together, let no man put asunder. So, which means that anything that would oppose our relationship or hinder our relationship did not come from God. So we recognize that immediately. That's coming from the enemy. And I'm not going to obey the enemy. As much as I have strength and the power, I'm not going to obey him, but I'm going to work against him. So I understand, and this goes on even further, is that if you have an issue or a problem or something, deal with it right then and get over it and keep on going. What happens a lot of times, we allow things to linger and to fester. And this is something that I have always said to not just you, but even yet to other couples. When you suppress those things that you're concerned about, even in your relationship, later on you begin to build animosity and resentment, and then you'll start an argument with the person over something that is totally irrelevant. It's kind of like, there it is, the husband start fussing with the wife about how she burnt the food or something, and that really has nothing to do with it when he was upset over something else. So, that suppressed anger instead of him communicating with her. So, you can communicate without being rude or argumentative, really, I would say disagreeable, to the sense that you're dividing your relationship or something. Because of anything, you are my joy, you are my life. And so if I hold you down, then I'm holding myself down. If I pull you down, I'm pulling me down. So I do my best to promote you and to celebrate you and to love you like I believe that God has called us to do.
I think one of the things too, and I want to say that when we first got married, Pastor wasn't really a communicator. He didn't really communicate or share his feelings. And I want to say to everybody, it is, as he's just saying, it is very important. As he said, we've grown together, we've learned and so forth. So he really wasn't a good communicator when we first got married. But as time goes along, he's become better. And one of the things I want to say is that, y'all, you got to talk with each other, as he said, communication. And you don't talk, you don't listen as your spouse is talking just to respond, but you listen to hear. You really do, not just to respond. And so that means that you got to listen with your heart. You got to put yourself in their place, how they can possibly see that like that, or how they can feel that way. Because if you're going to stay 43 years, every day ain't been like you see the sun shining, but every day we've loved each other. We haven't had an argument. People don't believe that. And I keep telling you, I told y'all 100,000 times why. And that's because he don't argue. If left it up to me, we would be an arguing couple about something. Hear me what I'm saying? But it is important that you're able to communicate how you feel, but it's also important that the spouse listen. And so you can say, when you do this, I feel like this. Okay. And or when you're talking, so am I hearing you say this? And if something is bothering you, as he said, tell them. But work towards the peace and happiness of your marriage. Work towards the peace and happiness of your marriage.
I believe that a lot of times, even when couples disagree, or not necessarily couples, but even with your disagreement with almost anybody else, when you look at it, really a lot of things going to be based upon individual perception. And when you don't respect another person's perception, it definitely going to lead to argument. So it's better to take time to try to understand why someone think that way, or why, or what did you do to give them a reason to think that way. And that will kind of, to me, would take the heat out of the argument. And the Bible says, when all that get an understanding, so as you come to that understanding, that's the best way, one, to solve your issues or to solve your problems, because now you have taken time to learn the other person, and to learn their perception of things. And it would help you, even yet, as you said, to be more effective as a communicator, and not necessarily take something the wrong way.
Yeah. And because you mentioned it, and so what we're doing right now, we're just giving you our perspective on some things that will help you get to the next level of marriage. So like, I admire people who've been married 50 years or 56 years. I think Danette, her parents been married 66 years. Okay, so it gives us something to go towards, right? Both of our parents, before our father passed, both our fathers are passed, and his mother just passed in February. But both of our parents had longevity in life. Both of them, in marriage, both of them had longevity in marriage. I think your parents would have been married coming November 11.
They would have been married 77 years.
77 years?
77 years.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
77 years?
Yep.
Wow. 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 His parents, 77 years, y'all. And my parents, I think, would have been married 60 something years, I think, of 60 years, something like that, 60 years, I think. So we come from longevity in marriage, right? We come from longevity in marriage. His mother and my mother, they were a little different. My mother just like me, or I'm just like my mama, and he just like his mama. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
He just like his,
very, very much so.
He was just like his mama. I'm just like my mama in all aspects. Believe you me, I'm just like my mama. He's just like his mother. And so, but when we got married, and one of the things that we do, y'all, we love each other, but our home is happy. Would you agree, Pastor?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, our home is happy.
And like even what I said to you the other day, I just love being with you. So
yeah, he was in a meeting, a men meeting, right? Yeah, he was in a men conference, and I was at the hotel, and so he called because they was on lunch break, and he said, "I'm gonna come and get you." I said, "No, you don't have to. I'm okay." Right? He said, "No, I'm gonna come and get you so you don't eat alone. I'm okay." I think I was writing or reading, and he was like, "No, I'm gonna come." I said, "No, you don't have to." He said, "No, I told them." I said, "Well, where are they?" And they were going to where were they?
They fixed the meal for him at the church.
They fixed the meal for him at the church, right? And he came to the hotel and got me. Tell him what you said, Pastor, the reasons why you came.
Because I like being with you. That's simply it.
He liked being with me. I think that's a good thing. I'm not bad to be with. I think I'm pretty good, and this is the thing. Even when we first got married and all of the girls would go out, guess who was with us? Many other times. Every now and then he stayed home, but he was with us. And I would tell them, "My husband coming." "Your husband coming?" "Yep," because he wanted to come. And I was glad he wanted to be with me, because I've seen people get married and the husband, they don't ever want to be together. They don't enjoy each other, but we enjoy each other. And he sit there and get in the conversation and laugh, and like he was just really invited to that. like he was just supposed to be there, right? And every now and then when I say, "Well, Pastor, just gonna be the girls," "Oh, y'all don't want me to come?" I'm like, somebody come be my husband friend. But
I'm
he
being
wanted.
your protector.
He said he was being, but he wanted to be. I don't count that evil, y'all. I welcome that because here we are, 43 years, 43 years. And I want to say to you all, another thing that made our marriage and make our marriage good is our marriage. It is our marriage. Tell them what my mama said, Pastor, when she came to visit us in Temple about us going out all the time.
Oh yeah. She told me I need to make you cook. Said don't be going out all the time because you're gonna be wanting to do that and everything. And I said that's fine with me. I enjoy it. And I said if she don't want to cook, she don't have to cook. I'm happy going out.
That's what he said. But you know what we did before we got married? I told him that I don't like to cook. I told him that before we got married. Yep, I risked the chance of him saying, well, we can't get married because I didn't want us to get married and he expect a meal every single day. I'm not that wife. Now my sister Tanya, she's that wife. She cooked breakfast, lunch, and dinner, snacks, anything. She cooked. But I'm not that wife. And it was okay because we had an understanding, right?
Yes, right.
We had an understanding, and that you got to get to know your spouse and understand. Marriage can work, especially if you marry the right person. That is of utmost importance. Talk about that a little bit, Pastor Mandrell.
Yeah, definitely. You have to be prayerful and considerate of who you're marrying. And I think more than anything else, you really have to be led of the Lord. I hate to put it that way, but you really do, because a lot of times people fall in love for, I would say, for the wrong reasons. For the wrong reason, because if you marry someone just simply based off of their looks or based off of their shape or things of that sort, those things are so top surface. And, of course, time and everything is going to affect everybody in every one of those ways. But you really have to fall in love with the spirit of that person. You have to fall in love with that person that you don't see, the person of the heart. That's the one that you fall in love with and that you connect with. Because when you realize, many of us, we understand, as we have heard it said before, we are spiritual beings that's living in a physical body. So we're not a physical body trying to be spiritual. No, we are a spiritual body just relating to each other in a physical sense. So therefore, if I'm a spiritual body, I need to really fall in love with the spiritual part of you. And that part I need to connect with. And and that's what it is. I love you based upon who you really are. So sometimes we don't take enough time to really learn who that person really is, which means now I have to appreciate your personality, appreciate your thought process, appreciate who you are, and really what all that you have become. And that's the person that I celebrate.
Yeah, and vice versa. Wives, we have to do the same thing, and you got to keep that going in your marriage, because I'm telling you, things change. 43 years of marriage. So we've been through so much, but we love who each other really are, as he said. We love that person, and it helps you when you're going through rough time. It helps you when you want to just when you just want to just. Okay, it helps you because you realize I am in love with that person, the heart of that person, the essence of that person, who that person really is. And I've learned that one of the things he says, I love you all the time. But this is another thing that's really helpful. And let me tell you this will help y'all to say, can I help you? I mean, how can I help you? How can I help you? It shows when you say that, okay, Pastor, so I'm saying that that's important in marriage to say, how can I help you? What does that mean to you? Or what did that speak to you?
That let me know, for one, that you really are concerned about not just me, but about us.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, because now you're concerned that I'm not stuck in the back or behind, and you're going forward. So it's bringing both of us forward, even in a relationship, and that just made me think about what the scripture says, that that in Genesis, that for this cause shall a man leave his father and his mother and cleave to his wife, and it says that they shall become one flesh. There's a spiritual thing that when God joins you together in matrimony, that you really become one. Physically, we are not one. We are still yet two individuals, but spiritually, we begin to meld and become one. So that's why when you have a breakup in a relationship or a divorce or something, now you are dividing a person that God has unified as one. So the two of us make a personality that you would never see that dynamic anywhere else in the world. And it would never, ever be, because it's the unique union of the two of us. So, and matter of fact, that goes along with the old adage that as people get older, they begin to say they start to look alike and act alike and things of that sort, but because God has joined us together. So for you to ask, how can I help you? You are at the same time helping yourself, because as I grow, you grow. As you grow, I grow. So we become helpers one to another, and we become encouragers one to another. If nobody else support me, I expect my wife to support me. It's the same thing with her. If nobody else support her, she expect me to support her. We become each other's best cheerleader.
Right.
Because as I cheer you on, I'm cheering myself on. If you become successful, I become successful. If you fail, I fail. So I don't ever see us having that dynamics where that was just her. And, I sit off to the side and watch you diminish or things of that sort. I should care enough that I help you to accomplish and become great.
Yeah. And in 43 years, I think that's important, y'all. So as you all are taking notes on this, another thing to remember, be your spouse number one cheerleader. If no one else is clapping, as Pastor just stated, or no one else is cheering, you should be. Your voice should be the loudest voice ever. Your voice should be a voice that's heard when they look out in the audience, if they're up front, or even if they're sitting there, whatever's happening in their life, you should be that number one person that support. You really should. You really should. They should hear the congratulations and all that from you. And then not only that, when they fail or when they're not feeling that good, you should be the number one picker up. You should be the number one picker up. They shouldn't have to go anywhere but to you. And a lot of times they don't have to say anything. When they, especially 43 years, not only do you start looking alike, but you can feel it. You can feel it. And you should be able to, if you're really connected. What say you?
Yeah, that just made me think about something in life, or even every day, how I dress or how I look or things of that sort. I'm not trying to impress anybody. The only one that I would ever seek to impress is my wife. So, if she want my style to change, I change because it's impressing her, because and you have to understand, I think a lot of times we're trying to please everybody else and not necessarily please the one that we're in a covenant relationship together. We are that one together. So, as we begin to celebrate each other, we then begin to do our best to appreciate the other.
Yeah.
So,
and another thing I like about us, our relationship, we both love God. And I think that is very important because it's not just him or it's not just me. We both have that hunger and thirst for God for real. There is no pretense. And so what has helped us in 43 years is that we're growing in God together. Well, and I want to tell you what happened. So, he's a little genius and all that kind of stuff. I'm real smart. He's a genius. I'm real smart. But that's what I wanted, right? I wanted to marry a man that was smarter than me. And I say this, and he knows it. Am I right? Didn't I tell you that? I wanted to marry a man smarter than me because I'm smart. And so I needed someone who can challenge me, who was smarter than me. I didn't want to marry someone my equal in intelligence or even how to pronounce words. That was important to me. I wanted my husband to be able to pronounce words. I did. I wanted him to be able to talk. And I wanted him to be able, if I write a paper, I want him to be able to read it and say, you got too many commas or something, right? And so that's what I have. And so he reads the Bible a lot. I do too. And he always come up with these big revelations, right? And so when he's preaching, I'm like, okay. And this was a long time ago. I was like, all right, God. And it made me start reading my Bible. It may sound a little whatever, but it made me start reading my Bible because the more, and I don't just read, I read with God to give me some deep mystery, something that he hadn't seen. Because it is important to me, even to this day, that I can say something that he don't say, yeah, I saw that. No, you ain't see that. That's a mystery. You didn't see that. And so when I'm studying, and I thank him for that, my study is to really give the people something, but I want the Lord to touch him through what I'm saying. Right. So he could say, I ain't seen that like that before. Oh, that was good. Let me add this point. I'm like, yeah. But I said that to say he helped increase my study habits in the Lord. So as spouses, I think that we should be able to help each other increase or want more or have a hunger for more. So both of us love the Lord, which is important because if not, there's going to be an imbalance. It's going to be a struggle in the marriage. Okay, it's going to be a struggle, but we haven't struggled because we both have the same desire towards God.
Yeah, that brings me to this point to never bury or diminish the other person's personality.
Oh, yeah.
Don't ever try to hide that. Matter of fact, that's who they are. One thing I tell couples, I tell young couples, I say the person that you marry, don't try to change them into somebody else that you want them to be, because one, that they would no longer cease to be the person that you say that you fell in love with, because you're going to create someone that really is not that image anymore. But learn to celebrate the uniqueness and the difference of both of you, and then you'll find that both of you really will be able to grow and augment those various things. And as you said, I was very introverted, very, very much so. And I was shy or quiet, but but I just thank God that we end up coming to that mutual place. And it was only because we celebrate each other in our uniqueness. And that kind of helped us to come and form the personality that we have now.
Yeah. Because you don't lose who you are. You know, you're still you. As the pastor is talking about, you're still who you are. And that's one of the things that's important, I believe, especially in our marriage. It is important that we allow the person to be who they. Now, being married to him 43 years, I'm a lot calmer. Maybe because I matured so much too. Okay, I'm not the same 22-year-old that 21. How old I was when I got married? 22.
Yeah, somewhere like 21.
Yeah, 20. Because we've been married 60. I don't know. How long we been married?
43.
43 years. Duh. So I was 21.
21.
I was 21 years old. Wow. I got married at 21. I originally wanted to get married at like 45 because I figured that I was being calmed down some, all that kind of stuff. I wanted to have a son at 36. Then I wanted to get married. I wanted to get married after I had my son. But y'all see how I am, right? You see how he is. This him for real. That's him right there. So every now and then he get to talking and laughing. And he talk more than he talking now, but he get to talking and laughing. But that's him. This me. Y'all know how, y'all know. I mean, everybody know how I am. Everybody know how I am. But the thing about it is we celebrate each other like that. Our home, we laugh and stuff because I'm me. Even at home with us, even when we go out to eat, even when we're wherever we are, I'm me and he's he.
That's right.
And we just really enjoy each other, you know. And sometimes he just shake his head. Sometimes he don't say, he just look at me and shake his head, laughing, right? But the thing about it is, here we are celebrating 43 years of marriage. 43 years of marriage. And I haven't asked him to change to be somebody else. And he hadn't asked me to change to be anybody else. We celebrate each other. And we make, and I believe we just make our home. We make us, based on being married to each other, we make us happy. We make us happy. I go a lot. I go a whole lot. Pastor don't go that much. Everybody in the community see me. I'm either here or I'm there or I'm there or I'm here. But guess what, y'all? Home is always taken care of. He's always taken care of. Am I right, Pastor?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Definitely.
I don't know why he just being so, he just so quiet. Talk to the people. Talk to the people. Yeah. But yeah. And you have to make that, you have to make your marriage what you wanted. I believe that in 43 years, we have improved. We have grown to love each other more. We understand each other even more. But it is up, I believe, to the couples, to that spouse. It was up to me. It was up to him to make our marriage what we wanted it to be. You know, we could talk with our parents about different issues, you know, but at the end of the day, we still had to make decisions based on who we are. You got to have somebody to talk to. Can I tell you this? Don't talk to everybody about what's going on in your marriage. To talk to little people as possible. Okay. Now he had a good mom, good dad. My mom, my dad. If we wanted to talk to them, that was good. His dad told him to make me cook. Everybody had that. He came home one day and he said, I was talking with my dad and I don't know if his dad is some more men or something. They were talking. Do you remember that? And you said they talking about I should make you cook. I said, make me cook. I said, what does that mean? They said I should make you cook. What does that mean?
Yeah, I think I had to just tell you that because that's what they told me.
He came back and told me too. They told me I ought to make you cook.
And you know, that's within itself becomes something that we have to take note of, because a lot of people give you advice, whether it's good advice or bad advice. They'll give you advice about your marriage, which they're not a part of. And one thing that people say, well, if that was me, then no, if I were you, or if you were me, you'll be doing the same thing that I'm doing.
Exactly.
But you have to be careful about the advice that you take, or that what people give to you, because it may not necessarily be right. It may not, the intent may have been good, but it may not necessarily be the right advice. And I've always have been of the mind and of the opinion that if I'm working and you working, and if I come home after working the whole day, you don't work the whole day, you're tired, I'm tired, why would I require you to go in and labor more to cook dinner and all the other things? That's another reason why I wouldn't mind, just us going out to eat, or things of that sort. I had to learn even from the dynamics of my family and the relationship that my mother and father had. From growing up as a child, it wasn't something that I would say that we should emulate, because I heard a lot of arguing and fight between the two of them. But I learned and I determined within my heart that whoever God give me as a wife, I will make them the most happiest person in the world. That I would not mistreat them or abuse them, physically or verbally or mentally or any of those things. And even yet seeing what my older sister have had to deal with a bad relationship. So I determined that I was going to celebrate whoever God give me in my life. So that has always been, a part of me. And even before I got married, and I think a lot of young ladies misunderstood me because I was just generally nice. I was generally just friendly, so even as the Bible says, look at the woman as the weaker vessel. I always stood as any of them, their protector, because I felt that if I was a man being around them, then I had a responsibility to make sure that they weren't disrespected. And but that was always me. That was always my personality. So, definitely now that I'm married, I definitely feel that my number one person that I'm a safeguard is definitely going to be my wife. And so I look at whatever advice that is ever given to me, would it be the advice that I would take that will honor you, that would edify you,
right?
And not be a critic or thing of that sort. Because a lot of times people give you stuff with the purpose and with the intent of causing harm,
right,
and causing detriment, but you have to be wise enough to know what to take and what to brush off.
Yeah, and that's true, Pastor. I agree with that 100%, because you got to know the motives of other people when they come to tell you stuff or say this or say that, especially in your marriage. We believe in marriage. We love being married. I guess you can tell 43 years. The Lord allows to see 7 more years. That'd be 7 years. And 7 years, that'd be 50 years.
50 years.
Wow. That's a long time. 43 years is a long time. But focus on each other's strengths, y'all. Don't allow anyone to talk negative about your husband or your wife or your spouse. Don't allow anybody to do that. Don't.
And then that's another thing. Consider who you're taking advice from.
Yeah.
So if that person have had a rocky relationship or had several different relationships, uh, to me, the only thing they're going to counsel you with is out of the experience of those bad relationships.
Yeah. Yeah.
So unless you want to repeat their pattern, be careful with whom you take advice from.
Yeah.
So make sure you take counsel for someone. I would say definitely of someone whose marriage that you may want to emulate. Let them become your counselor.
Exactly.
Let them become your advisor. Because one, they have proven through their longevity and through their life that they know how to live agreeably.
Right. I like that. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
So take advice from people. We have a lot of people who talk to us because they admire our marriage. And y'all, this ain't no fake. What we're saying right here, it's no fake. This is us. This is us, and we're happy about 99% of the time with each other. We're happy with each other about 99% of the time. There come that moment. He don't say nothing, but I would say something. Now he don't say nothing, but it come that moment. But even at that time, you have to realize this is the spouse that I love. And then you got to want to stay married. That's what I believe, especially when you're married to the right person. Sometimes I believe that not being wise and so forth, you can't marry the person that was not meant for you. So you may do it the second time, but can I help you? Don't keep doing it. You do number 1, do number 2, you do number 3, do number 4, do number 5. Settle down till you can find out exactly what it is. And don't marry to say they complete you. You go in complete. Because you're waiting on that spouse to complete you. They might not be the one, they're not gonna complete you. So you don't expect your spouse to complete you. You expect your spouse to be your spouse. Right? And make the thing work. Pastor, what's some of the most exciting, what you like about me? Tell me what you like about.
Oh, wow.
Well, you ain't got much longer, but just give them a little bit.
One, I love your personality. I love to celebrate you. I love one just to see you happy. I love your intelligence, your wisdom. I love how you care for people. And I think I probably told you this before. Just a lot of times, a lot of people don't understand and see you maybe as being hard or rough, but really you have a very soft side, a very sentimental part, and what you do is driven out of love, and that's what I admire about you. I admire your relationship with the Lord, and even even your prayer life, your dedication, your devotion towards God. I love that, and I always pray for your success and for your well-being. I love for your connectivity with family, and if nothing else, I can say that you are an excellent living example of love, because you just don't love your friends or your family, but even people that have a tendency of mistreating you or disagreeing with you, when I leave them alone, you'll still yet communicate with them. To me, I say I don't have time. I don't have time for that. So you're not adding value to me. I have nothing to do with it. So, but you still yet will give them the time of the day to help them and things of that sort. And I really admire that.
And you know what I like about this, y'all? He tells me this. I mean, he tells me that. Sometimes you have to wait to this, but he tell me that. And it fuels me and help me keep going. And I like the fact that my husband is just like this. Oh, you can't see. Okay, my husband is easygoing. He has a even temper. I guess that, am I saying it right?
Yeah.
It's just even. He very rarely gets upset. And somebody asked me the other day, does Superintendent Mandrell ever get mad? I said, bother his wife. You bother his wife, bother Carolyn, Cameron, Tanya, some of them. You about to see the wrath of God. That vein pop out right here. But he's smart. He's intelligent. My husband would give you. He would give you the shirt off his back. You know, he really will. And I get to help everybody because he is that type of man as well. That's what our marriage is made off of. When God really put us together. And my husband's funny. He got that dry humor, but it's a funny humor. And he do it right. he said the craziest stuff. And sometimes he'll say it and it's right there and you have to say, Gerald, you know, but and he's just funny. My husband's funny. All right. But he's smart, he's relatable, he's flexible, and I love all that about you. And I love the fact that you support women. I really do. You support me, and that says a lot, because you have some husbands who are so intimidated of their wives, but you're not, and you push me. You know, I love that you push me. I love that you believe in me. It makes life good. That means that I don't have to go around being hungry for support or hunger for encouragement, because I get it from you. I get it at home. You know, I was trying to find all of the pictures, but every award that I receive, my husband is right there. And one of the ladies sitting at our table, one of the finalists as well, she said, boy, your husband was so proud of you. That's my husband is proud of me. My husband is proud of me. And I work to live to keep him proud of me. So, Pastor, we got about 2 minutes. Y'all, we could go on because this 43 years. And we are going to do a marathon. Pastor, for about a minute and a half, say something to the people. Just talk to some of the couples.
Well, let me say this, especially speaking to the brothers. Since I'm the man, speaking to the brothers. Love your wives, celebrate them, lift them up as much as possible. We hear so much about how you're the man of the house or how you're the head and everything, which all that is true. Uh-huh. But when you think about even yet the dynamics of the scripture, the thing that God created last was the thing that was most celebrated. So, you know, he created the heavens, the earth, everything, the Garden of Eden, and then he created man, you know, which means that man now was the one most celebrated. Mm-hmm. But he looked at man and said, it's not good for you to be alone. So what? His final creation was really not the man, but it was the woman that he took from the man. So now he's given us a responsibility to take care of the woman. And if you didn't think that was such a big thing, he referred to the church as being his bride. Uh-huh. So everything that he did it for his bride. He celebrated his bride. So the Bible said that Christ has loved us and he has done everything for us. He says, so men, you ought to love your wives as Christ has loved the church. And I believe that if you really learn to celebrate the women that God has put in your life, it will make your marriage so much better. So I put the burden, a lot of the success of marriage in the husband because we don't take enough time to celebrate our wives. We really want them to obey us and everything, but no, learn how to celebrate them, listen and care, and show your concern for them, and really show them the love that even yet Christ loved us with.
And thank you so very much, Pastor. And my sisters, I promise you, or brothers, I promise you, if you love your wife, like my husband just said, there's nothing she wouldn't want to do for you. But she got to know that you love her, that you care, and all of that stuff. And you don't have to have a whole lot of money. You just have to have a whole lot of love, a whole lot of love, because love is powerful. Love is powerful. The doctor told my mom that love is the reason why she's here. Love is stronger than death. And I promise you, if you love one another, support each other, and brothers, you do what my husband just said. Look here. I told somebody literally, not literally, physically, whatever it is, I drank this man bathwater.
Can I say this one thing that you was talking about? Love is also intentional.
Yes.
It is very intentional. So you love on purpose. Ooh. You don't love by mistake. Ooh. You love on purpose.
Ooh. And you forgive on purpose. Mm-hmm. You got to keep forgiveness as part of that. You don't hold up, because none of us is perfect. None of us are perfect. Each one of us 43 years. I know I've made some mistakes. He's made some mistakes. 43 years. But guess what? We ain't going nowhere. Our marriage and loving each other was worth everything. Mm-hmm. Okay. And we want to be that example. And so we thank you. Thank y'all for being here. Thank y'all for tuning in. We got to go because it's been 43 years. Happy anniversary, babe.
Happy anniversary, sweetheart.
I love you so much.
I love you more.
Come on. I love you so much. I love you so much. I love you all. I love you all. And we're happy. God has been good to us. Keep God the center of your life. And I promise you, real talk, I promise you, your marriage will last. It'll last through you being mad. Don't be selfish. Your marriage ain't about you. It's about y'all. Okay? We love you. Join me tonight at 7:30 for Bible study with Elder Antonio Witherspoon, our assistant pastor. And we look forward to seeing you. And listen, whatever year you're on, we hope that you make it to the next year. And if you're not married yet and you want to be married, we hope you get there. Don't rush it. Let God send you the right spouse. All right? We love you. That's Real Talk.
Real Talk with Judy. Real Talk with Judy on the radio. Real Talk with Judy. Real Talk with Judy on the radio.